welcome to the 2021 CCF Virtual Graduation Ceremony. I am Ivelisse Gilestra, Community Organizer at College and Community Fellowship. 2020 was a difficult year for all of us, but our work at CCF has only grown. Although we cannot be here together, we wanted to give you, our graduates, the closest version to that experience. Before we get started, let's talk about how you can participate in today's ceremony. You can add your messages of congratulations for our graduates in the comments below. Feel free to use the hashtag CCFGrad2021 to let us know you are watching. And if you feel inspired by our graduates, which I know you will, text Education Transforms to 44321 to support our work with women like the ones you will meet today. We have an amazing program for you tonight. We'll have speeches from our Salutatorian and Valedictorian and Keynote speech from our Executive Director, Vivian Nixon, and a special poetry reading by Celeste Greatness. Celeste is an alumni of our Wish Advocacy Training Program, a prolific writer, advocate, and community organizer. Reciting her poem, You Did It, here is Celeste Greatness.
Congratulations, Queen. You did it. Congratulations, Queen. You overcame it. See, turmoil thought that it was going to make your skin boil. But your determination stood tall, and you made that your very last fall. Because, sister, you did it. You fought that fight. You danced that dance. Now we celebrate. Sister, that's your birthright. Today is a new day. So, sister, go grab your fruit shade because you's a queen and your roots extend deeper than green. And your throne type can't be thrown tight. So it's time for you to fix that crown, Queen, because you just became the hottest thing in town, Queen. So strut your stuff. Be bold and don't bluff, because you just gained access to the #1 goal, and that's education. So anything you want in this world is yours, and that's formation.
That was phenomenal. Thank you, Celeste, so talented for that moment of inspiration. Now, it wouldn't be a graduation without our graduates. This year, we want to do something extra special to introduce the graduates. Leading up to tonight's ceremony, we filmed each graduate in locations across the city to commemorate their achievements. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming the CCF class of 2021. Now it is my honor to introduce our first speaker of the evening, who also happens to be our salutatorian. Camilla Broder has been an integral part of our CCF community. This year, she is earning her bachelor's degree in criminology from John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Please welcome Camilla to the stage.
The first time I went to college, I failed every class that I took. I was 18 and struggling with an addiction to heroin. I didn't go to class because I was too busy trying not to go into withdrawal. I was academically dismissed from the same college that I'm graduating with honors from today. I wish this could have been an easier road. This is a graduation 10 years overdue. It feels like a lot of time that I'm playing catch up with, falling behind other people who didn't go through these same obstacles. But that doesn't make it any less meaningful or any less of an achievement. Sometimes the hardest moments teach us the most valuable lessons. They remind us what we should cherish most of all and what is most important to us. I knew when I sat in that jail cell that I had a decision to make. It was either get clean and get your life together or continue this lifestyle and die. And now I have 5 years clean and a bachelor's degree. I am really fortunate to be able to have turned such a negative, traumatizing, and inhumane experience like jail into something that has turned my life around. I've been on national television because of it, radio shows, and written op-eds. But the reality is that jail is a place used far too often to warehouse individuals we as a society just do not want to treat. I don't know that I would be the same person I am today if I hadn't gone through those experiences. And I know that I'm a better person now and continue trying to be a better person every day. Not all of our hard work gets recognized immediately. You will have difficult moments, teachers or subjects, and likewise hard to impress bosses and colleagues. The reason you keep working and improving isn't for them. It's for yourself and your loved ones. We all have our unique journeys, and we have faced more hardships than most. This makes our victories and achievements even more special because we have worked so hard for them, and they mean so very much to us. So let's celebrate this victory today and work towards our next tomorrow.
Thank you, Camilla, for your passion and commitment to education. Next up, I have the honor of introducing our 2021 Valedictorian, Valerie Wilkinson. Valerie has been a part of CCF Community since 2012, and she earned her associate's degree in human services in 2019 from Bronx Community College. This year, she's earning her bachelor's degree in social work from Lehman College. She has been accepted to Fordham University's Masters of Social Work program. Fun fact, Valerie was also our valedictorian when she earned her first degree. Please welcome Valerie to the stage.
First, I want to give a huge shout out to my fellow graduates of 2021. I am incredibly overwhelmed to be selected a second time for the Harry Joe Brown Jr. Foundation Valedictorian Award. I am truly honored by your recognition of my accomplishments, dedication, and a strong commitment to empowering my life skills through education. Also, I would like to extend a special appreciation to my family, friends, and staff members of College and Community Fellowship, and everyone who played a role in helping me to make this day possible. 2 years ago, when I received my associate's degree, I stood on this very stage with high expectations of pursuing my Bachelor's of Arts degree in social work at Lehman College. Well, I'm happy to say that day is now a reality. To date, I am also pleased to say that I have been accepted to Fordham University's graduate school and will now go on to pursue my master's degree in social work in September 2021. Women are the fastest growing prison population, and we face unique challenges post-release. I think it's safe to say that we are among many women who have faced similar challenges. Just Leadership USA website details that the steep rise in the population of incarcerated women in the US is linked to the complex history of the war on drugs and the US's prison industrial complex, which led to mass incarceration among many demographics, but had particularly dramatic impacts on women, especially women of color. My journey with CCF began in 2012, 4 years after being released from Rikers Island under the condition that I successfully complete a treatment program for drugs and alcohol. I considered myself fortunate. In 2008, I entered into a long-term program as an alternative to incarceration, which I eventually completed and have since been sober. Overcoming these experiences, including being formerly incarcerated and homeless, has been very humbling, which has also allowed me to be more empathetic, non-judgmental. I stand before you today through willingness, self-determination, and by not allowing my past to define me. Yes, Vivian Nixon, I believe education transforms lives, communities, and systems. As my personal growth strengthens, it enables me to help and inspire others that are currently facing similar challenges that I once endured. I am excited about all the milestones in my personal development, as it has been hard-earned. Learning about oneself and what motivates our behavior is never easy. But I also have new accomplishments, goals, and clarity, and an overarching sense of purpose. It's been a rough year, a rough 18 months. I came today to talk about my accomplishments and goals. Still, the truth of the matter is, each of us collectively have had to overcome extensive barriers during these unsettled times. We could not control the countless impacts of the pandemic's unfortunate events and the circumstances that followed. We all faced numerous obstacles and overcame them with an unrelenting willingness to succeed. And despite of all the setbacks and difficulties, because of our determinations, our persistence, our willingness to endure is stronger than any obstacle we may face. In closing, please allow me to share a bit of inspirational words that worked for me from a 2020 Newsweek article I recently read. Put God first in everything you do. Everything you think you see in me, everything I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things. Everything I have is by the grace of God. Understand that. It's a gift.
Thank you, Valerie and Camilla, for allowing us to celebrate your accomplishments and the accomplishments of all of our 2021 graduates. It wouldn't be a CCF graduation without our scholarship opportunities. From the beginning, the CCF community has been gracious in their support of our work. Thank you for helping us lift the burden of the cost of college for our students. Thank you. our graduates have been waiting for. I present to you the 2021 graduating class. Camilla Broder, bachelor's degree in criminology, John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Angela Anacaona Diaz, master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, College of Staten Island. Vanessa Fields, master's degree in social work, Hunter College. Danielle A. Hurd, bachelor's degree in communications, Mercy College. Barbara Henry Sheehan, bachelor's degree in psychology, CUNY School of Professional Studies. Eneke Huff, associate's degree in nursing, Montefiore School of Nursing. Lori Lewis, bachelor's degree in health education and promotion from Lehman College. Glenna McCarthy, master's degree in social work from Hunter College. Minerva Pascual, SIB graduate, theater from Rizzo. Mia Powell, bachelor's in social work from Lehman College. Diane Rotino, bachelor's degree in social work, College of Staten Island. Donna Saunders, master's degree in social work, Silverman School of Social Work at Hunter College. Sharika Stewart, associate's degree in psychology from Borough of Manhattan Community College. Valerie Wilkinson Watts, bachelor's degree in social work from Lehman College. Graduates, please move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations. This year's graduation is bittersweet, as it is the last ceremony with Vivian Nixon as our Executive Director. CCF has been privileged to have her at the helm for 15 years. Not only was Vivian part of CCF's first graduating classes, but she also earned her MFA while leading the organization. Under her leadership, CCF has grown from having one full-time employee and a budget of $130,000, which served 15 students, to a far more impactful organization with a staff of 18 and a budget of over $3 million, reaching thousands through direct services, policy and advocacy, and technical assistance. She is a tireless advocate for access to education, a national spokesperson for all justice-involved people, a writer, and my mentor. From working with the Obama administration on second chance Pell sites to walking the halls of Congress, advocating for access to education for people in prison. Her impact on our work will reverberate for decades to come. And we are not the only ones who recognize her brilliance. This year, Bard College is awarding her an honorary doctorate. All of that to say that none of this work will be possible without her guidance, vision, and passion. It is my honor to introduce our 2021 keynote speaker, Reverend Vivian Nixon. That's right, Viv!
Good evening. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight for this celebration of College and Community Fellowships graduates of 2021. And thank you, Ivelisse, for that very kind introduction. Thank you as well to the entire team at College and Community Fellowship for making this such a special occasion for the graduates, for all of our alumni and fellows, for our board members and supporters, and for me, Vivian Nixon, the Executive Director of College and Community Fellowship for the last 16 years. It's hard to believe that this is my last graduation in that role, but it is not an ending. For sunsets are necessary things, and we know that the sun often sets as beautifully as it rises. And I'm looking forward to a beautiful sunset as we continue to experience sunrises of a different nature in our new relationship. I will always be a part of this community. College and Community Fellowship has served New York for more than 20 years. We started out as a very small one-on-one mentoring program and have emerged into a multi-service organization offering college and career services, technical assistance, and policy and advocacy. We support women coming out of criminal justice entanglements to achieve their goals through a variety of means. I am so proud to be able to speak to the graduates tonight because I understand every one of the benefits CCF has to offer. And I understand every one of the barriers that every one of you have faced to get to this moment. I understand it because before March 17th, 2001, I experienced all those same things when I walked into the door of College and Community Fellowship when we were still located on Fifth Avenue at the Graduate Center in a tiny space that didn't belong to us, but we turned that space into community. A special recognition to my community, the class of 2004, and all of the people I met when I joined CCF, who are my lifelong friends and sisters, mostly members of the writing retreats and the Theater for Social Change. You have been invaluable to my experience over these past years. Tonight, I want to talk about two things, and they're very related to the graduations I have attended over the years. My graduation in 2004 was very special because my mother was there. I had been out of prison for 3 years, and at the age of 45 was rebuilding my life from scratch. That was really scary. I missed my high school graduation because I failed 2 classes in my senior year. Not because I couldn't do the work, because I didn't do the work. I never graduated from college, even though I attempted to go to college when I was 18. And when I was incarcerated, there was no college available. So this was a really special day for me. I remember that Yolanda Johnson-Peterkin invited a professor of hers to be the keynote speaker. And he talked about his privilege, that because he was who he was never incarcerated, never arrested, but could have been many, many times. And I remember a bell going off in my head about something that we needed to start having conversations about at CCF. And that is the depth of mass incarceration in the United States and what we as a community could do to shift the tide for those who are currently incarcerated and after incarceration, especially as it relates to access to education. Shortly after that, I was invited to do the graduation speech at the Bedford Hills College program. Needless to say, that light bulb that had gone off in my head was shining brightly, and in the middle of a prison graduation ceremony, I thought it wise to advise all of the graduating students that they were still part of the fight against mass incarceration, against the use of punishment, against the use of cages for people. Needless to say, I was banned from going back to Bedford Hills after that. I don't think it was permanent, though. In 2012, Reverend Alfonso Wyatt gave a rousing keynote address at graduation. It's one that I will never forget, and I don't think any of you will ever forget it either. It was called, "Watch Out for the Dream Killers." Wow, I can still hear him cataloging the many ways that people will try to kill your dreams, to make your dreams deferred, like those in Langston Hughes' famous poem, "What Happens to a Dream Deferred?" Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it sag like a heavy load, or does it explode? I can't help but be reminded that we are graduating with associate's degrees, with bachelor's degrees, with master's degrees, and that on May 29th, much to my surprise, the Bard College will bestow upon me the honor of Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters. This from a population that at one time, a huge group of us, and we know who we are women, many formerly incarcerated, all justice involved, and disproportionately represented by people of color, mostly African American women. And from 1619 until 1865, there was a time in this country when in certain states, teaching us to read was punishable by death. Wow, that could have been a dream killer. For generations, we've known that knowledge is infinite power. We never questioned, though, who gets to decide what knowledge is or who gets to learn. Well, at CCF, we began to question it, and because we began to question it, we, a community of formerly incarcerated women and women with other connections to the criminal justice system, made a difference, not just in the classroom, but in the system of mass incarceration, mass criminalization, and a legal system that incarcerates certain communities at disproportionate rates. We fought for the restoration of Pell Grants to incarcerated students. We were more than token representatives to fill quotas. We were disruptors. We were loud, and we were audacious, and we were a distraction to anybody who did not believe in our mission. Knowledge is so far beyond pedagogy and curriculum. It is beyond the norms and standards passed on to this land. It is beyond the norms that were brought over from Europe. And it really digs deeply into the roots of the understanding of knowledge that the indigenous people of this land had. That knowledge is for the good of us all. Knowledge is the heartbeat of revolution and resistance. We are a movement that has broken chains. Women in this community, joined with women in the larger movement, have broken literally the shackles of being forced to wear shackles while giving birth. We have broken the shackles of mandatory minimums, broken the shackles of excess bail, and we are still fighting to break more shackles. Shackles of police brutality and limited access to resources in our communities. This community reintroduces us to the sound of our own voices, to what we can resonate out into the world to make change. I know it did that for me, and I'm sure it has done that for every one of the graduates listening to me tonight. And I want you to know that because you're part of this community, there is nothing ordinary about you. You are extraordinary in every way. And all you need to do is dare to make your mark on this world. Now, education is not magic. It's not going to just fix things. It's not a silver bullet. You have to use your education in the way that fulfills your dreams, not allowing those dream killers that Reverend Wyatt talked to us about in 2012 to take away your fire and your desire to move forward in your life. The American dream that all you need is hard work and education is a myth. You can do all of that and injustice will still surround you, but do not let injustice hinder you. And also don't let the fact that you have an education rock you to sleep. You will still have to fight for your freedom, because none of us is free until all of us are free. Until every child can see the whole sky and know that they have infinite potential beyond it. Until that capacity to dream exists in an environment of infinite opportunity. CCF has dispatched hundreds of dream weavers out into the world, piecing together the parts of their lives, the challenging parts, the joyful parts, the painful parts, the laughter and the tears, weaving them together in an intricate pattern that creates a future. Together, we can inspire future generations to also weave their unique circumstances into lives that fulfill their dreams. Not becoming robotic carbon copies of anybody else, but becoming entrepreneurs, or healers, or advocates, organizers, artists, educators, always reaching for that next level, weaving the next dream, never fearing failure, always expecting to succeed. You are the graduates of 2021. There's one other memory that comes to my mind. One of the things I was very excited about when I joined College and Community Fellowship was the writing retreat that we would go on every year, because I'd always wanted to be a writer, an educator, someone who was able to make what was thought impossible a reality. One of the things I did as a young person was participate in theater. I remember in my high school, I was chosen to play Aunt Ev, which is a character in the play Miracle Worker. Miracle Worker is about Anne Sullivan, who was Helen Keller's teacher. And Anne Sullivan did what people thought could not be done at the time: teach a non-hearing, non-seeing, non-speaking little girl how to communicate. Not just how to communicate, but how to communicate beautifully, with depth and clarity that would change the world. Playing Aunt Ev was interesting because, as we know, Helen Keller was not an African American, and it caused quite a stir in my little hometown when Aunt Ev appeared on stage as me. But I will never forget the idea of being a miracle worker. Miracles don't just happen. They don't fall out of the sky. You don't just sit around and wait for them. You have to work the miracle. You are miracle workers. And so at that first writing retreat that I attended, I wrote a poem, and it was part of the 2005 graduation. And I'm going to read that poem to you tonight, just as I addressed it to the graduates in 2005. I address it to all of you graduates in 2021. You are. You are love and hate, freedom and oppression, strength and chains. Those are the things that shaped you. You are forces of ancestral wisdom that have moved you through stages of internal revolution. You are budding roots of change, nurtured by both cruelty and kindness, the sustenance of an empowered life. You are celestial ambassadors on earth, born to enlighten friends and strangers lost. On this day and beyond, with joy that surpasses all pain, celebrate the powerful dream weaver that you are, and go out into the world and work miracles. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. And with that, we conclude our 2021 graduation ceremony. Please join me in congratulating our graduates one more time. Again, none of this work would be possible without each of you. If you want to learn more about our programs, please visit collegeandcommunity.org. You can also text Education Transforms to 44321 to donate today. Thank you and good night.